Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode. I'm from Umoja Estate. It is behind me, and I'm just past Jacaranda Estate. It is on my right, for those who are quite familiar with the area. And as you can see, I'm about to get to Donholm. Well, this is the neighborhood we'll be exploring today. We'll go deeper and everywhere. In fact, I'm told that this is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Nairobi city. It is quite a unique one. In fact, it is home to 54,000 people, where 56% are females and only 43.9% are males. There is almost a 13% gender gap in favor of females. We will talk more about that later in the video. I'm also told that Donholm is home to many fasts in the country, and for instance, it is the place where the first cattle dip in the country was introduced. Well, I don't know whether you knew about that. It is also the place where the first cohort of Ayrshire breed of cows were introduced in East and Central Africa. I'm sure you have seen these red and white cows. It is the famous Ayrshire breed that traces its roots to Donholm. Well, I'll be telling you more about that later in the video. I also have some nice old photos of the area, probably from the 1900s. I'll be sharing them, and I will also be showing you how the neighborhood lost her glory. But in the meantime, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent. I am overwhelmed by the continued support, the subscription, the likes, the positive comments. Just keep them coming. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed, kindly consider doing so. It is absolutely free, but definitely it means a lot to us. Anyway, back to the video. And as you can see, I'm driving around the estate, Donholm Estate. It is a beautiful evening out here, but first let me show you the map so that you can know where I'm at. Well, that's the map of Donholm. You can see the encircled area, not very far from Buruburu Estate. I can also see Umoja Inako, Jacaranda Grounds to the north, quite popular for political events. And to the southern eastern part of the estate, I can see Baraka Estate. Well, to be honest, I've never heard about that one. And we have Tasia to the south. Well, there's a lot of apartments in the area. I'm sure you have noted that. In fact, Donholm is about to become a concrete jungle. But I'm told that this was not the original plan. You can see the houses right on my left. That was the plan. You can also see the one-story building right in front. That was the plan. Let me try and get a picture so that you can get a clue of what we are saying. Well, pretty nice houses. That what used to be Donholm in the 80s and early 90s. You can imagine how posh this neighborhood used to be. And that is before the real estate investors started racing for the sky. I'm sure you have noted that most buildings here are tall. But of course, all is not lost. In fact, I'll be taking you to the other section, where a sense of the old Donholm still remains. Of course, I'll be turning right as I leave this part of the neighborhood. Well, I'm not quite sure whether I'm the only one, but despite being a concrete jungle, there's something special about this place. Well, first, buildings are not that old. like in most estates here in Nairobi. And second, there are no signs of poverty. That is, by the Kenyan standards, maybe where you are watching us from, this is extreme poverty. But I feel like there's a lot of similarities between Donholm and Roysambu. Anyway, let me go eastward so that we can explore the estate further. We want to go deep. In fact, I'm looking for a way to get to the old Donholm where everything started. We want to see how businesses are faring there and how is the state of the infrastructure. But so far so good. I can see the makeshift stalls on my left. Businesses are doing quite well. I can also spot another unique business in the area. I'm sure you can see the guy riding a bicycle right in front. I can tell by the quality of the passenger seat that he is doing this for business, just like the motorbike passenger business. Well, that caught me by surprise. I never expected that such business existed in this side of the city, where you pay some fees to be taken around on a bicycle. I thought motorbikes took over, but it is still common in Thika town. I don't know whether you have been there, but it is one of the most common mode of transport in that town and affordable too. In fact, the last time I checked, a ride costed about 20 shillings. Well, that's quite fair. You can compare with the motorbike prices, which is about 50 shillings per ride. I'm also told that it is also quite comfortable. Remember, the speed is not that much. Of course, by the end of the day, it's still a bicycle. And as a passenger, you don't have to worry so much about your safety. But for you to survive in this business as a rider, of course, you have to be well fed. Remember, your legs powers the engine. Anyway, the last time I checked, a motorbike passenger was called a pillion. And so, for those who are well versed with the Queen's language, kindly tell us the name given to a bicycle passenger on the comment section, and we will appreciate. Anyway, I can see some free-spirited adults are having some fun. There is more to life than looking for money. Well, there's a school here on my right. It seems like a public primary school. And that explains why there's a lot of learners in this side of the town. Anyway, we are going deeper into the estate. You can see the old houses on my left. That was the original model. And of course, the road is not that nice. It needs some repair. But one thing I'm noting is that high-rise buildings have not found their way on this side of the estate. It still looks old and nice. Well, let me give you some numbers so that we can understand the estate better. And remember, it is only 8 kilometers to get here from the Nairobi Central Business District, that is the city center. So we are not very far from the city. And according to the Kenyan Bureau of Statistics, Donholm has a total population of 53,904. That means it only needs 96 people to hit 54,000. Well, 23,989 are males, which only account for 43.9%, and 29,913 are females, definitely the majority, accounting for 56.1% of the total population. Definitely this is the biggest gender gap I have ever seen in the city. Well, in terms of the households, there are 15,412 families in Donholm. And for the population density, there are 17,553 people living in a square kilometer. That means the area is super congested, but it is probably because of the high-rise buildings that are coming up in some parts of the neighborhood. Remember, one apartment building in this side of the city can accommodate more than 100 families. Well, the total Donholm area is not that big. In fact, it is only 3.1 kilometers squared. Well, this must be the oldest part of the town, but it also looks cool and peaceful. I don't know what you think. There are also some nice businesses. You can see the shop on my left. Well stocked. And one unique thing, this part of the neighborhood does not have a lot of people on the street, like the first place we visited in the video. Well, I'm told that Donholm is the oldest estate amongst estates in the Eastlands area of Nairobi. Definitely, I don't know how true is that, but I have heard that claim from different sources. Maybe old-timers can confirm. History goes that Donholm was established as a ranch, that is, in the 1900s, and originally it measured 46,000 acres, stretching from the city stadium, for those who knows the area, going all the way to the airport, to the current Donholm Estate. Well, history goes that Donholm Ranch was established by one James Watson, a renowned architect, who actually is celebrated for designing Kenyatta Avenue right in the middle of the city. Remember, it is the oldest road in Nairobi. The guy also designed and built the archives, quite a popular building in the city. Watson is also credited for planting most of the palm trees you see around the city, making him quite a popular colonial master. Well, I'm also informed that he named his farm Donholm as a tribute to an estate of the same name back in Glasgow, that is his hometown in Scotland. Well, let me show you a picture of the estate back then, taken from the air, that is in the 1900s. You can see this part of Nairobi used to be a jungle. The guy is also credited for building the first cattle dip in the country. That was as a measure to fight the East Coast fever. He also brought the Asia breed of cows to East Africa. I remember I told you about that when starting the video. But one of his greatest contribution to modern Nairobi is building a Maram Road that connected his Donholm estate to the city center. Well, I'm told that he did this to try and deliver milk to the city center. And back then, the road was called Donholm Road, but currently, it is the famous Jogoo Road. Well, that's a nice piece of history right there. In fact, I'm told that Watson died a cruel death. In fact, he was knocked not by a car or a train, but by a gate, and he died. Well, now this takes us to the real estate segment. I want to check at the cost of land, cost of houses, and that of renting houses in this estate. And that reminds me that before getting here, I saw an article by The Standard, which is one of the leading newspapers in the country. And the article's title was, "Why Land in Donholm and Ruaka is the most expensive in Nairobi City." And that actually took me by surprise, since I never expected Donholm to be that expensive. In fact, according to the article, the price of an acre of land in Donholm in the first quarter of 2021 was 13% more compared to a similar size in Lavington area. Well, this is because, according to the report, while an acre of land in Donholm cost 72 million, that is, the same piece in Lavington cost $65 million, which is $548,000. Remember, that is in 2021, and in Kileleshwa, the same period, an acre went for 63.2 million, which is $561,000. Well, that has since changed, and to start with, you are not finding an empty acre of land to buy in this area. As you can see, the place is quite congested, but you can find land in smaller quantities. In fact, I saw 33 by 72 going for 16 million Kenya shillings, and I saw another one going for 17 million and 500,000, and another one that is slightly less than 50 by 100, which is an eighth of an acre, going for 15 million Kenya shillings. Well, the price range depends on the land's location and also on your negotiation skills. Remember, it is a willing buyer, willing seller kind of deal, but definitely I'm sure you can get the price range. Some homes are also up for sales. In fact, I saw an old mansion going for 17 million and 500,000 Kenya shillings. I also saw another one going for 18 million in Jacaranda Estate. It was a 4-bedroom gated maisonette. It is quite an expensive area. Now let's check at the rent prices for those who want to rent in the area, maybe in future or currently. Well, I saw a 3-bedroom maisonette going for 45,000 Kenya shillings. That is per month. I also saw a 5-bedroom going for 70,000 Kenya shillings per month. There was a 2-bedroom apartment in Donholm Phase 8 going for 31,000 per month, and I'm sure you can get the price range. But remember, these apartments are empty. You have to move in with your furnitures and other household items. The prices for furnished apartments is a bit high. In fact, I saw a 1-bedroom apartment, well furnished, going for 50,000 per month, and a studio furnished apartment going for 40,000 Kenya shillings per month. Well, let me leave at that and tell us whether the rent prices and land prices are exaggerated. Will you consider paying the amount? And based on the condition of the estate, are the prices fair? Will you consider living in the neighborhood? Tell us on the comment section and we'll appreciate. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent. Also like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible, and also smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you will be among the first few people to be notified. Well, keep the conversation going, and until the next episode, God bless and take care. Thank you.